Hi! In this video, we're going to look a little bit deeper into variables and data types. Now that we've learned a bit about how these data types can be used, let's explore each of the data types in more detail. The numeric data types that we will be working with are integers and doubles. Integers are whole numbers, while doubles are numbers that include decimals. 5.0 is considered a double value, while 5 is considered an int value. Boolean types record true or false data. This data type can store the values of true and false, and are often used in conditional statements, a term that we will go over in more detail in Unit 3. The char type represents a single character. It is enclosed in single quotations and can only be made up of one character. If there is more than one character in quotation, or if the double quotes are used, the program will throw an error, indicating that the value type is not the correct char value. Data types come with a set of operations that can be executed while using that particular data type. Integers and doubles follow the same base set of operations that they do in basic mathematics, and strings are able to add and multiply values together. You might be wondering, why are there two different types of character variables in string and char? The big difference is that char is a primitive type, while string is a reference type. Primitive types are considered the building blocks of programming languages, while reference types are types that have been created by programmers using those primitive types. String, for example, is a variable type that was created using char variable types, and has its own functionality that has been created by programmers. The table displayed here contains a lot of information that we have yet to cover, but will make a lot more sense in coming lessons. For now, the only thing you really need to know is that primitive and reference types store information differently. When we assign a value to a variable, we are actually associating that variable with binary data. Computers store all data in binary and associate that variable with the binary data associated with the value that it's been assigned. We will learn in more detail about this in later units, but it's important to note that creating variables and assigning them value is actually using binary data that the computer then has to store. When primitives are given values, they are associated directly with those values. If the value of one variable changes, then the primitive value that it stores also changes. In this example, the value of first is being changed to equal the value stored in second. Both first and second now store the value b. In this example, firster and secondster initially start out with two separate string values. When firster is set to equal secondster, firster does not store the value of goodbye, but actually references the exact same copy of the goodbye stored in secondster. This is the primary difference between primitive and reference types. Firster now references goodbye, and hello still exists in memory until the computer is able to wipe it from memory. It does so through a process called garbage collection, but that is outside the scope of this course. Now that you've learned about the basic variable types, let's get some practice using them in the editor.